In theory, I should have died on that damn seed star. At least I can still leave a badass reputation in the universe. But the problem is, I'm still alive. This one named as BVX. Just a seed star. BVS just left a hot molten burn. Only been around for 10 billion years. Back then, it was an X-ray type. In the heart of Asia, where disaster strikes. He has the power to burn with a temperature of 5 billion. But now this planet has cooled down, leaving only a terrifying mass to show his presence. My predecessor, Explorer Sandy, died here. His reputation reverberates throughout the cosmos. And as his successor, I, who cheat death, now lie in his sickbed, waiting for the same fate, waiting for the boss of the young master to come and settle the score. But my Messiah is so great. To me, this is just a deal. Of course, a few months ago, I didn't think like this. All this is just temporary. Because of that 500,000 CN coins debt. This amount is nothing compared to the massive sky. It's insignificant compared to the vast sky plan. It's not even enough to cover the cost of the spaceship I'm on. But it's almost my whole life. My name is Beowulf. I used to be a pilot for Interstellar Airlines. I was there in the early days of the cosmic frontier. It's not a profession known for its stability. Every flight is a roll of the dice. We always use parties and distractions to mask our fear, to dilute our own terror. Because we know it's a noble calling. The budget airlines guarantee worry-free dining. Just 500,000 credits for a basic retirement. Yet, damn if in my first month of retirement, the classy middle-aged boss from Interstellar Airlines, but leaped out of his own spaceship. He damn well went bankrupt. And when he didn't pay back my 500 grand, he fell apart. I lost everything. So Universal Aerospace started coming around. This is a subsidiary of Universal Group. The subsidiary's headquarters are located on a remote planet. This planet is right near BVS Prime. With Universal Group going bankrupt and collapsing, this subsidiary also bit the dust locally. They hired a bunch of local designers from the planet and even integrated Universal Group's aircraft technology. They're still working on the group's legacy. They've got everything ready. They just need one event to prove themselves. These idiots chose to land on Neutron Lane. There are very few civilizations in the world that understand neutron stars. It's truly a pity. There are plenty of people willing to take a gamble. Landing on Neutron Star, this is the same for both. For the flyboy, it's the best publicity. But the truth is they failed. There was a malfunction in the tail control of Ship 2. Judging by the data from Black Leopard's return, Mr. Neutron, some kind of unknown power, through the legend. The unknown power of justice. The killer who took out the Explorer in one shot. Manipulating the inside of the ship. There are even traces of blood. It seems like something pierced through the hull of the spaceship. The body of that person. The Explorer got squashed. But the thing is, there shouldn't be anything that could penetrate the ship's hull. And this couldn't possibly be due to gravity. Because if it was being crushed by gravity, the entire spaceship would be flattened. But the reality is during the landing of Sandra. Even though the spaceship, the controllers at the rear suddenly malfunctioned. Sandra herself was even more baffled. Died in the control room at the bow of the ship. But according to the data returned by the spaceship, both ends of the spaceship, although, showed varying degrees of deformation. But in the middle, it was perfectly intact. And the designer, right, has long been based on the gravitational environment of BVS-1. Designed the gravity system. I checked the control room in Sanya, where the deaths occurred. He was squeezed to death by some mysterious force. Pressure. Why did this happen? I just can't figure it out. But the increasingly dire circumstances were telling me, I damn well need this job. What's gonna make me commit? It's the designers from the same damn aircraft company. They clarified my issues, saying it's just a parameter error. They even made promises to me. Just by updating the materials in the tail controller, tragedy can be avoided. Everything was described as if it was supposed to be that way. It's so great. They say humans yearn for the stars, because the stars are right there. They say, my small step is about to become a giant leap for mankind. In that fleeting moment, I even forgot about my loans. But I forgot to ask them why me. Just a regular pilot. And why I should stand in for those professional adventurers. The work of home. I'm just remembering those holier-than-thou faces. Come at me with whatever you've got. The most detestable face of all. Yet here it is, right in front of us. He's the boss over at the Airborne Enterprises. I know. Another round of haggling is about to kick off. You didn't finish your login task. And you didn't tell me the truth about the spaceship issue. I'm about to fire back. But the boss just shook his head at customer service. He doesn't seem to be planning on this issue. Overthinking. So I continue to ask. Aren't you curious? How I survived? Not curious. Our rocket system saved you. Your spaceship is out of control and a mile away, completely out of control. The automatic landing system triggered the rocket thrusters. It shot you out of the gravitational vortex. We saved your life. Yeah, it was actually the spaceship's rocket system that saved me. But it wasn't the automatic landing system that triggered it. Your idiotic system was on, when all hell broke loose. It was my own rocket thrusters that I activated. You actually have no idea what happened on the spaceship. What went down? Boss's face just changed a bit, right? But it's gonna calm down real quick. I know I got it right. Now it's his turn to speak up. Your 500K will be returned in full, as promised. Tell me, what went down up there? 500K. In a top-tier exploration project, it means nothing. Yet it can buy a pilot's life. A very profitable deal, sis. Well, I found out. What you need isn't some boring spaceship diary, but someone to tell you why those 2 chances failed. Looking at it this way, 500,000 probably won't be nearly enough. A retired old pilot, what do you even know, has explored dozens of civilizations across the galaxy. The pilot who has been on 30 years of flying missions. I know what this chicken is called, but it doesn't matter. To show sincerity, I can tell you first what happened on the spaceship. Master, when the automatic landing program started running. At that time, I was above B position as Bar 1. Based on the conditions at that time, the system chose the same pure as Sandia. Prepare for landing on the track. The spaceship is moving towards the neutron harp, the axis suction gun in a vertical position, forming a spiral around John Cixin. A mysterious force begins to slowly pull. At first, this force is not strong. It's probably only about 0.2 G. But then this force starts to increase. The spaceship also starts to sway back and forth. I was originally going to rocket correct the course. Luckily, my job kept the Dragon King at bay, because what happened next made me realize, if I had used a rocket from the beginning, the acceleration of power in this position would increase as well. The record for Desania is 1 mile. That was when he was closest to John Quincy. And if I had opened the rocket early, I would have been crushed before then. But at that moment, I could still control my body. And I knew if I didn't act soon, I wouldn't have another chance. Because Sandy died in this strange control room. The sudden increase in pressure crushed him in the end. I had to get out, and that's where I paused, hoping the boss from the other company would react. I thought my hints were pretty clear. But I never expected The boss just kept staring at me like that. So I left. The poker hand of Mount Gao faintly brushed against the blank paper. I took a deep breath. Looks like the group is even more optimistic than I thought. They have no idea at all. Still no answers from you guys, huh? You finally realized my question. What do you mean? For example, you guys don't have the ability to solve the spaceship problem at all. Is parameter error just an excuse? You want me, a nobody, to stand in for the Unix family, Sandra. Let's go land on that so-called Neutron Star. It's because of Sandy's screw-up that you guys are freaking out. Have you guys even researched that seed yourselves? What do you think? You know, this failure actually has nothing to do with that planet. It's all your spaceship's fault. And if this gets out to the public, your company's stock price will take a huge hit. Luckily for the outside world, the mysterious Neutron Star is still a great excuse. A natural excuse for a failed attempt. And that's how I, the unlucky guy, got involved. The spaceship you guys provided me with, there was absolutely no modification at all. Just added various data collection devices. Following the original plan, I'll end up dying up there, just like Insomnia. And the collection devices will transmit the data back. Help you guys find that issue. Unfortunately, your data collector is broken. Most likely, nothing came back. And the problem with your spaceship going out is very simple. Simple enough to fix. Hearing this, the boss's poker face finally couldn't hold back. I know what you're about to say. Our spaceship is cylindrical. One end is the head, the other end, of course, we need to use dual-track correlation. As for the gravity changes at both ends, you just want to tell me. The problem is actually on the spaceship hull. From the very beginning, we shouldn't have gone with a cylindrical spaceship. But you gotta figure it out for me. Cylindrical spaceships have always been the standard. The corporation's flagship for mass production. After so many missions in space, how could there possibly be a problem? Do you know what's at stake? The physics term for what Gu Di is talking about. Of course I know. Human civilization was born. Earth has a satellite. Suppose you find two rocks in that scene. One rock near, one rock far. One rock there, one rock here. Without any external force. These two rocks will move farther apart. They're in different orbits. But they gotta run on the same schedule. These wheels are rolling. It will lead to two stones will follow different paths. But because of the difference in focal points, the stones will have a focal point difference between them. This phenomenon on Earth is called tides. In simple terms, it's two forces pulling each other. If you've seen the records left by Tsang-Yi, once you see how sturdy the bar is for the S1, you'll know. It can change the light around it. We can see it. When he sailed straight towards the back of the seed star, his light was immediately surrounded by darkness. This is a crucial belief. That's actually the fact that this neutron star is spinning. What would a spinning neutron star be? We all know that all matter belongs to the norm. I'm basically a nucleus made up of protons and neutrons with electrons. But at the heart of the cross-section, there might be a second type of substance, where the immense pressure could crush the electron shells. Thus, the substance is transformed into a nucleus squeezed by both pressure and gravity, surrounded by a more or less continuous arrangement of electrons. Push them away. But there's another scenario, where neutron star electrons are forced away from protons, forming neutrons. After a powerful explosion, most stars will lead to death matter transforming into a dense cluster of neutrons. In theory, meaning the highest density possibly existing in the universe. Level. Their volunteer rotations can actually distort space. And if we can connect its rotational period, at 2 minutes and 27 seconds, the dual tracks of the spacecraft landing will twist together. So, the model of this landing track is actually like this. The landing spacecraft has a relationship with the essential S-bar 1. It's like the moon and the Earth. But accidents happen. It's really cylindrical in shape. His axis, though, still revolves around a neutron, but the motion trajectory of the orbits at both ends is actually different. This turns the spaceship into a pin stuck in the middle, being swung back and forth around the neutron core, extends the highly variable gravity environments at both ends. And that's how. The changes in the middle are actually the smallest. But whether it's the spaceship's materials or the explorer's physical structure, they couldn't withstand the back and forth pull towards the west. That's how the tragedy unfolded. Do you understand now? Your planet doesn't have a moon. So you went for those foolish thrusters. The designers only fought back, completely ignoring the vitality, and they won't even calculate day by day. However, there are definitely planets in the universe with superpowers. For cross-sector waste disposal company, having enough superpower calculation skills is just a trivial basic skill. Of course, you can keep this a secret, because the successful landing has not been completed yet. The seed star, so for this failed landing, you must have given a convincing reason, an acceptable explanation. But what if the public finds out that your failure isn't due to some profound principle of physics, but simply because of those insignificant success rates? But don't blame me for being greedy. I can help keep your secret. At least, you'll need to come up with $1 million, no, $2 million. The Yangtze River doesn't just disappear in the blink of an eye. Suddenly, a flying company boss agreed to my request. The shadow cast by the car pulled towards his face disappeared, replaced by the savvy resignation of businessmen pursuing profits, and pushed $2 million in an interstellar deal. I don't stand in the way either. But I know, in this vast universe, this also foreshadowed my entire life.